What's up everybody, another beautiful day in Azeroth, and today we'll be taking a look at a returning dungeon, Atal'Dazar, and part of Season 3 Dungeon Pool. Now I'll be going over notable trash, interrupts, and boss mechanics. Starting off with the layout of Atal'Dazar. At the start of the dungeon, going straight down the middle down the stairs brings you to the boss Rezan. Going to the left instead takes you to Priestess Alun'za, and going to the right takes you to Vol'kaal, so you can choose what boss to start with. Now most groups go down the middle at the start to kill rezan, as you can do that without pulling any trash, then run back up and go right side towards Vol'kaal. But let's start off with notable trash before rezan. So this trash, like I said, is skippable but will be pulled after and throughout the middle area of the dungeon whenever you're there. Toxic Sourids jump to random players dealing damage in a 3-yard area. Their attacks also applies a stacking poison. Stay loosely stacked so everyone doesn't get hit when they jump, but also so they don't jump far away. Stuns and roots are great. Then we have the Feasting Sky Screamer. I remember you, bastard. Make sure to interrupt their terrifying screech, AoE fear. For rezan itself, if either a player or boss moves over a pile of boners, it'll spawn a raptor ad that tank needs to pick up. Avoid this as much as possible unless you want a pad. Now always tank rezan near a pillar or stairs so that players can line of sight the terrifying visage AoE fear. Boss will also fixate a random player and after 3 seconds chase them for 12 seconds. If rezan gets close enough, the player gets eaten. So the fixated player needs to run as soon as they get marked and avoid running over, or rather dragging boss over piles of bones, if possible. You can immune/feign death, or vanish this. The boss also deals a ton of tank damage during serrated teeth, and it has a fancy tail swipe, so avoid brown nosing the boss. Notable trash before Vol'kaal. Around this side there's several stealth Shadowblade stalkers patrolling around. If they attack you first, they will stun their first target for 2 seconds, so tanks beware. Their attacks apply a poison dot and a nature damage taken increase, which you want to dispel. The reanimated honor guards and their best pal, reanimation totem. While the totem is alive, their honor guard gets healed for 5% of their HP every second, and they slap the tanks a bit. When the totem dies, the honor guard gains rotting decay, starts spewing shit everywhere, and the group takes a metric ton of damage every 2 seconds. More if you soak swirls. It also puts a bleed on the tank or nearby target if the tank is running away screaming, "One heal!" Then we have the Shield Bearer of Zul. Stun or incap them when they cast Bulwark, reduces enemies inside the bubble's damage taken by 90%. There is no better feeling than popping all your cooldowns and then no one stuns. Myself included. Make sure to interrupt Witch Doctor's unstable hex. If it goes off, targeted player needs to get 8 yards away from other players or it will be spread, and it's a curse. Otherwise, interrupt their Venom Blast. It hurts on 45. So for Vol'kaal, at the start of the fight, each DPS nukes 1 out of the 3 totems. They need to die within a few seconds of each other or the totems will get full HP again. When the totems are dead, you can damage the boss, or rather boss doesn't get instantly healed anymore. So while the totems are alive, Vol'kaal will leap around and occasionally cast Noxious Stench, just like me, which applies a ticking disease on the party. Make sure this is interrupted. Tanks usually do this while DPS deals with the totems. When the totems are dead, boss gains rapid decay, stops leaping around, deals more tank damage, and spews out toxic pools on or near other players' location. Kite boss around, kill boss. Notable trash before the Priestess boss. The Juggernauts charges random players with Merciless Assault, dealing damage to anyone within 8 yards of them. You want to interrupt or soothe their enraged Fanatic's Rage. The Confessor have 2 very important spells that needs interrupting. Vonzamdi's Mantle spawns a huge zone which makes anyone inside it immune to crowd control, so interrupt. The second one is Mending Word, heals a mob, interrupt it. Now if there's a Juggernaut up, the Augur's Fiery Enchant needs to be interrupted or they'll spawn fiery swirls all over the place. Swirls are bad. Now the Gilded Priestess will spawn a blood pool somewhere near. When they cast Transfusion, targeted player needs to dip their toes in the blood pool, otherwise the mob will heal. Now for the Priestess. You want to purge or dispel boss when she gains Gilded Claw. And you want to dispel players that get Molten Gold. The boss will spawn 5 blood pools pools around the encounter, and each player needs to soak one right before the boss casts transfusion. Doing so makes it deal damage to boss instead of healing her. Now the boss will also spawn an ad throughout the fight. Now these ads will go drink all the blood pools if left alone. They always spawn at the altar in the back, so always tank boss next to it. Stun, cleave down the ads, knock, grip if needed. You can CC them if you have access to those. And yeah, don't touch the swirly golden balls. I know they're golden, but still, following this, it's straight up to last boss, Yazma. Now tanks, beware of skewer. Make sure to interrupt her racking pain and decurse if it goes off if possible, but you do not want it to go off. Boss will spawn spooky purple ghost spiders throughout the fight that occasionally starts chasing down player. If a player touches them, they go boom, spawns a pool, and it hurts. If all players stack near boss and tank slowly kites boss around the edge of the room, you can keep these spiders stacked and always moving in the same direction. When the boss casts Soul Rend, all non-tank players needs to run away far from boss and stack. After a few seconds, they spawn an ad that moves towards the boss. Kill them before they reach boss or you die. You can stun, slow, grip these. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Atal'Dazar. I hope it helps, and if you have any questions at all, hit me up in the comments or stream, or become a patron or Twitch sub and get access to the Stankie Discord where you can get help with anything PvE related, like dungeons, raiding. Don't forget the usual stuff if you want to help out. Like, comment, subscribe, and slap that notification bell. I'm releasing a lot of guides for 10.2, and thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.